Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is honestly kind of sleeky. We're looking at a habit that quietly sabotages us, pulling us away from our biggest ambitions before we even realize what's happening. We're talking about why the simple phrase, "I'll do it tomorrow," is literally destroying your dreams. It sounds dramatic, I know, but by the time we finish breaking down the concepts in this explainer, you're going to see exactly how dangerous this forward sentence really is.
So, let me ask you, have you ever told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? Think about the sheer number of times you've made that little silent promise. You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll finally wake up early, or tomorrow I'm absolutely going to hit the gym. Maybe it's studying or finally starting that dream business. And the thing is, in the moment, making that promise to your future self feels really good. It feels reassuring, almost like you're actually committing to a plan. But we really need to take a closer look at what is actually happening in our brains when we make that promise. And here's a pretty harsh reality for us to swallow. Tomorrow has stolen way more dreams than failure ever did. We spend so much of our lives absolutely terrified of failing, right? We worry about putting in all this effort, trying our absolute hardest, and then still falling short. But the material we're unpacking today points out something crucial. Actually trying and failing, that is not the ultimate dream killer. Endlessly postponing your action is. Because look, when you fail, you at least learn something. But when you just say tomorrow, you remain completely stagnant. Your dream just slowly slips away, and you don't even put up a fight.
Section 1. The Trap of Tomorrow.
Okay, let's break down this hidden trap that your brain keeps falling into. Step 1. You face a really daunting task, like say doing your taxes or writing a massive report. And you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Step 2 is where the trap actually snaps shut. Your brain feels this immediate rush of temporary relief. It's totally tricked into thinking the task has been safely handled just because you scheduled it for later. The stress just vanishes. But then step 3 hits. Tomorrow actually arrives. And because you trained your brain to crave that sweet temporary relief, what do you think happens? Step 4. The cycle repeats endlessly. Your brain literally says the exact same thing again. Without even realizing it, you've unknowingly locked yourself into this continuous loop of inaction, all because your brain got hooked on the false safety of postponing.
Section 2. The Truth About Laziness.
Now, if you're caught in this trap, you probably carry around this really heavy, incorrect assumption about yourself. You probably just think you're lazy. But here's the thing. What we quickly label as laziness is actually just a mask for being overwhelmed. It's a mask for being scared of failing. Or honestly, very often it's just you waiting for the perfect mood. You're waiting until you magically feel ready. But here is the profound truth you absolutely need to take away from this. That perfect feeling of being entirely, 100% ready rarely, if ever, actually comes. You're basically waiting for a train that is never, ever going to arrive.
Section 3. Small decisions shape life.
Success isn't this overnight phenomenon that just happens in one dramatic day. It's built by tiny, almost invisible choices. We're talking about reading just one page, doing exactly one push-up, studying for just 5 minutes, or writing a single paragraph. When you're stuck in that tomorrow trap, these tiny actions seem completely meaningless, right? Your brain tells you, come on, what is the point of doing just one push-up? But it is exactly like compounding interest in a bank account. Over time, these microscopic decisions stack on top of one another, and eventually, they are the exact things that completely change your future.
Section 4. Choose your future self.
Okay, I want you to imagine yourself exactly 5 years from now. Think of it like this. 2 very different versions of you exist in the future. On one side, we have the one who said tomorrow. This version just stayed in that endless loop of temporary relief, constantly waiting for the perfect mood that never showed up. But on the other side, we have the one who started today. This version did the one push-up, they read the one page, and they actually pushed through that feeling of being overwhelmed. When you look at these 2 diverging paths, which one do you honestly think becomes successful? And you know what the crazy part is? The deciding factor between those 2 future versions of you? It isn't talent. The one who started today wasn't born with some magical gift. And it isn't intelligence either. It is pure action. They simply stopped waiting for motivation to strike and just moved.
Section 5. The 5-minute rule.
5. That is the entire trick right there. When you feel that massive urge to say, I'll do it tomorrow, do not promise yourself that you're going to finish the entire task. That's just going to cause overwhelm. Instead, promise yourself just 5 minutes. That's it. Study for 5 minutes, exercise for 5 minutes, work on that business plan for exactly 5 minutes. The real secret here is to give yourself full 100% permission to quit after those 5 minutes are up. Because let's be real, starting is absolutely the hardest part. Think of it like physics. It takes way more energy to overcome static friction and get a massive boulder moving than it does to just keep it rolling along. Once you conquer the initial hurdle of those first 5 minutes, this incredible psychological shift happens. Momentum takes over. The source material points out that most of the time, once you've simply started, you'll naturally want to keep going. The friction is all in the anticipation of the work, not the actual work itself.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember the gravity of what we're talking about here. Dreams disappear one postponed day at a time. Losing your biggest ambition isn't some sudden explosive event. It's a slow, quiet fade. It is literally a tragedy of 1,000 tiny delays, all caused by waiting for motivation instead of just choosing to start before you are ready.
Because eventually, one day, tomorrow simply becomes too late. The future version of you is depending on a tiny choice you make the exact moment this explainer ends. So the only thing left to ask is, what are you going to do with your next 5 minutes?